Once upon a time, deep in the forest, there lived a small turtle named Kento. Unlike the other animals, Kento didn't have a bold personality or quick speed, but he carried something they often overlooked: patience. While the birds rushed to collect twigs for nests, while the squirrels scrambled around for food, and while the deer ran quickly through the woods, Kento moved slowly and calmly. He took his time, enjoying the gentle breeze, the sound of leaves rustling, and the peaceful moments of life. Kento's shell was strong and sturdy. It was his home, his shield, and his comfort. No matter what storm or trouble came his way, he always knew he could retreat inside and feel safe. For him, patience was not weakness. It was protection. But as he lived this way, he often noticed something about the other animals. They were always in a hurry. They ran from one task to another, always chasing after something, as if life were a race. Kento wondered if they had forgotten to enjoy the journey itself. Then one afternoon, the sky began to change. Dark clouds gathered above the treetops. The air grew heavy and the wind howled through the branches. A great storm was approaching. The animals of the forest panicked. Birds flapped their wings and rushed to the tallest trees. Squirrels darted into hollow logs, hoping they would be safe inside. Deer ran through the thick forest, desperate to find a hidden place to shelter. Everywhere creatures scrambled, each one rushing without thinking. Kento, however, did not rush. He did not panic. Slowly, step by step, he walked toward the deepest part of the forest. There, beneath the roots of an ancient oak tree, was a small cave he had discovered long ago. It was quiet, dry, and sheltered from the wind. Kento had always believed it would be a perfect place to wait out a storm. As the rain poured and thunder shook the ground, the storm grew stronger. The birds' nests were torn apart by the fierce wind. The squirrels' logs filled with water, flooding their hiding places. The deer, running without direction, found themselves lost in the endless maze of trees. Panic left them exposed and unprepared. Hours passed. The storm showed no mercy. But inside the cave, Kento remained calm. He felt safe, knowing that his patient choice had led him to the right place. Finally, when the clouds cleared and the rain stopped, Kento stepped out. The forest he loved looked very different now. Branches were broken and scattered everywhere. Trees had fallen, and the once green floor of the woods was covered in debris. Slowly, the other animals came out of their hiding places. Their faces showed exhaustion and fear. The birds looked sadly at their destroyed nests. The squirrels discovered their food stores had been washed away. The deer wandered in circles, tired and confused after losing their paths. But Kento walked gently through the forest, calm and unharmed. He began to help where he could. He found strong branches he had collected earlier and shared them with the birds so they could rebuild their nests. He guided the squirrels to oak trees that still had acorns hanging, helping them gather food again. He showed the deer familiar trails so they could return home safely. As the days passed, the animals began to see something clearly. Kento had not been the fastest. He had not been the strongest. But while they rushed in fear and made mistakes, he had stayed calm, steady, and safe. Slowly, they began to change their ways. The birds built sturdier nests in stronger branches. The squirrels stored food earlier, preparing before the storms could take it away. The deer moved with care, no longer running without direction. In time, they came to Kento with gratitude. They asked him how he managed to stay so calm when the storm was so frightening. Kento smiled and said, "Storms will come to everyone. Sometimes they are small showers, and sometimes they are great storms. But no matter how strong, if you are patient, if you take your time, and if you prepare, you will always find your way through." From that day forward, the forest was no longer filled with rushing and panic. The animals worked with patience and purpose. They prepared for the future without losing sight of the present. And as for Kento, he remained the calmest and wisest creature in the forest, quietly teaching the younger ones that when life's storms arrive, patience and steadiness will always keep you safe. Vocabulary list: scrambled, moved quickly or in a disorganized way, often in a rush or panic. Example: the children scrambled to grab candy as it spilled onto the floor. Hollow, having an empty space inside, often naturally formed or carved out. Example: the explorer discovered a hollow tree trunk that could be used as shelter. Debris, scattered pieces left behind after something has been broken or destroyed. Example: after the earthquake, rescue workers cleared debris from the streets. Chaos, a state of complete disorder or confusion. Example: there was chaos at the airport when several flights were suddenly cancelled. Steady, stable, consistent, not likely to change suddenly. Example: the painter's steady hand allowed him to draw a perfect circle. Retreat, to withdraw or move back to a safe place. Example: the soldiers had to retreat when the enemy advanced too quickly. Sturdy, strong, durable, able to withstand pressure without breaking. Example: the old bridge was surprisingly sturdy despite years of heavy traffic. Want more stories like this? Click the video on your screen for more stories. Share what you learned in the comments.